CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 20 of Dual Destinies. Last time, we started the second day of trials, in which we cross-examined Phineas Filch, during which we discovered that he was the guy in the Tenmataro costume, and basically he snuck into the Forbidden Chamber, and then he threw out the costume out the window, which was seen in the photo. So, without further ado, let's go. Yep, that's right, Mr. Blackjack. The door suddenly sprung right open. I want to play with you, Mr. Blackjack.
Hold it!
You said his name was Mr. Blackhead! Sprung right open! Who's on the other side?
Didn't get a good look on account of the sun glare.
Like how the reflection from my head blinds fellow moviegoers emerging from the dark?
That's why I snatched the staff and made my daring escape. And then that little maid gal spotted me as I hightailed it down the hall. That means the Forbidden Chamber wasn't open until after the crime was discovered.
But wait! We still don't know who opened it! Maybe there really was a third person in the Fox Chamber.
Objection!
Well, you little Tanuki, when the Forbidden Chamber opened, did you see the accused passed out there? Nope, only one there was the alderman, and he was dead as a doornail. If the accused wasn't there, what do you suppose he was up to?
Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. Don't tell me.
Plainly, the only one who could have opened the Forbidden Chamber was the accused, Damien Tenma. Oh!
Hold it!
Wait a second. There had to be somebody else there besides Mayor Tenma.
Really? And who might that be?
Oh, well, that would be...
Objection!
It seems our feisty little lass has forgotten the most important thing. Evidence. I didn't forget. I merely forgot to mention it. I was just testing your attention to details.
Miss Sykes, you can't prove your point without proof of some sort. It's a proven fact.
Sorry. Guess I put my foot in my mouth again.
No, Athena, we're definitely onto something here.
Are we?
Think about it. If Filch was stuck inside the Forbidden Chamber, one of the alibis we heard would no longer hold any water. The defense would like to call a new witness to the stand. Someone who knew Mr. Filch was stuck in the Forbidden Chamber, and by virtue of knowing this, has an alibi that no longer adds up.
Ah, not that insufferable.
Very well, the court will hear what Mr. Justice has to say. Whose alibi no longer adds up?
The Amazing Ninetales! Trucy! Phoenix! Phoenix's testimony is null and void. It is gone to crap. Simon's alibi at the time. It's nothing. Okay, sorry, I'm just doing some mental calculations. Okay. Yeah, we want to select Florent.
Why, that's the defendant's aide, Filch and L'Belle. Did he claim to be in the foyer at the time of the crime? True, but in his alibi, he also claimed Mr. Filch was in the foyer too. However, as we all know now, Mr. Filch was not there with Mr. L'Belle at the time. In short, Mr. L'Belle's alibi has disappeared.
Ah!
Filch and L'Belle's alibi has one big lie. Isn't that right, Mr. Filch?
I reckon there ain't no keeping that guy in the bag here neither. It was all Mr. L'Belle's idea. He told me he burned his lip about me breaking into the Forbidden Chamber, and in return, he said we vouch for each other's alibis.
Shame on you, Mr. Filch. Perjury is a serious crime, you know.
Aw, shucks. Mercy, your honorship, mercy. Ah!
I also assert that the person who opened the Forbidden Chamber was, for Mr. Filch, was none other than Filch and L'Belle. After all, his alibi has just been proven to be a complete fabrication. I see. We will take a 20-minute recess, after which time we will see what Mr. L'Belle has to say for himself. Yes! We're finally going to drag that slippery snake onto the stand.
2-minute recess.
In the meantime, the prosecution will question Mr. L'Belle about these new allegations.
April 19, 10:25 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 3. We did it, Apollo! We finally dragged Mr. L'Belle into court!
Yeah!
Hey! Why the long face?
I can't help but feel I'm missing something important. Plus, Prosecutor Blackwell's bound to mount a counterattack.
You really are a worrywart, aren't you? It'll be fine. That mystery figure who opened the forbidden chamber for Mr. Filch had to have been Florent L'Belle.
I know, but that's not what's bugging me. I wish I could put my finger on it, though.
At any rate, the big showdown with Mr. L'Belle is up next. So chin up, Apollo. Yeah, I love how Athena still refers to L'Belle as mystery, even though they're accusing him of murder. It's like, we have to keep his dignity intact, Apollo.
Court is back in session. Our next witness is...
And you thought I was exaggerating with the metrosexual Joker comments. Yes, I'm acting on behalf of the mayor in this very important manner.
It seems the witness is predisposed at the moment.
Surely you jest. I will hold you to your promise. Remember that. Oh, my deepest apologies. This is Florent L'Belle, personal aide to Mayor Tenma, or should I say, the accused.
Ouch! Like the poor mayor hasn't suffered enough.
Well, what business do you have with me? I'm a very busy man, so let's make this as brief as possible. Your baldness?
Oh, right. Mr. Filch's testimony has revealed a hole in your alibi, and for this reason, you are suspected of having some sort of connection with the case at hand.
To think I'd be associated with this entirely lurid affair. Well, I'm not. So may I go now? I have very important matters to attend to.
Objection!
No, I don't want your money, you commoners. You will not have my products.
I don't think so, Mr. L'Belle. Do you realize what a serious crime you've committed? Witness, you are being accused of perjury. This is your chance to clear the air.
Fine. The truth is I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter. You see, as his personal aide, I felt I had to protect him. Sorry!
You think this is funny? You think this is funny? You Garaham metrosexual Joker knockoff? Without your alibi, you're a suspect too. What were you really doing at the time of the crime?
Peasant! How dare you accuse me, one of the beautiful people! Stop stalling and tell the court what you were really doing at the time of the crime. Don't get snippy with me just because you're one of the ugly people.
Silence!
Enough jabbering! Swords have been drawn. The time for talk is past.
Swords? What swords?
This is a duel to the death. The fate of the accused rests in our hands. Be gone, ye of cowardly heart. It's go time. The battlefield hath no place for ye. Tuck up, heck him down.
Again?
Oh my.
Spare me, please! So much for sturdier shackles.
Ah! Those chains hindered my vow that heads would rule this day.
This gives keeping your head on in court a whole new meaning.
Will the witness please deliver the accused death knell? You know of what I speak. Most certainly! His goose is already cooked! Time to stick a fork in him!
Whatever he has to say can't be good.
As I told Prosecutor Blackwell during the recess. I rushed right over to the fox chamber when I heard little Jinxie scream. What? Then, drumroll please, I saw Mayor Tenma opening the forbidden chamber's doors. But, sorry. But. There you have it. The mystery man who opened the chamber door, as witnessed by one Phineas Filch. It was the accused. There was never any third party. Oh, and that's not all. I heard something quite startling there at the scene of the crime.
Startling sounds bad.
The mayor, who's barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie. I killed the alderman. I killed him with the shovel that I used to kill your mama. That's right. The mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there.
He confessed? Order in the court! This is quite conclusive testimony if it stands.
Just so, and quite astonishing, I might add, I only learned of this fact during the recess. I just love surprises, don't you? That's why I saved the best for last. Consider it a gift from me to you. No way. I don't believe Mr. L'Belle heard the mayor confess.
But is this really true? Did Mayor Tenma really confess?
It is indeed. During that last recess, I confirmed it with the mayor's daughter. It would seem Mayor Tenma actually did confess.
That testimony is quite favorable to the prosecutions.
Mrs. L'Belle, yes, I called earlier about the party reservations. That's right. And I'll be calling my little shindig to Mayor Tenma's conviction gala. It's a charity event in which all proceeds go to the less fortunate. Me. My bank account's named that, less fortunate, because it doesn't have your money in it. A splendid time is guaranteed for all but the man in his defense.
Well, as it seems, our witness is a very busy man. Let's get right to his testimony. Mr. L'Belle, please tell us what you saw when you came upon the scene of the crime.
I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows, like a gorgeous ninja. I was like a breeze that carried the scent of petunias on the wind. I was in the hallway, hiding in the shadows. That's when I heard the confession. Upon learning of her father's crime, little Jinxie fled without ever noticing me. Immediately after that, the mayor came to and stood up and opened the forbidden chamber. As I ran in terror, the demon emerged from his prison. In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end.
I must say, this is a shocking revelation. Quite unexpected. To think that the defendant actually confessed then and there to his crimes, and the fact that he actually did kill his wife with that shovel, along with those two maids, that stray dog, that cat, that ferret, that fat guy, the Department of Sanitation and Health, and a UPS delivery man who just so happened to be delivering a package to the house next door. Perhaps the guilt was too much to bear, so he confided in his daughter. You do realize you should not have withheld such crucial testimony from the court.
Once again, sorry. It's just I feared being accused if I mentioned coming up upon that most unpleasant scene.
Why did the mayor's confession have to be brought up by this guy?
We better do something before the judge declares the mayor guilty. As a death row inmate once told me in years gone by, there is a time to fight and a time to yield, a time to live and a time to die.
He's laying it on real thick now. The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
You claim that the mayor confessed to his daughter. Are you sure about that?
Peasant! You wouldn't dare ask such a question if you truly understood. True beauty is never wrong.
I don't know what true beauty you're talking about, because I see no beauty here. It's not?
No, beauty is caught deep in the DNA. That means I'm programmed to always be right, even when I'm wrong.
I'm not following! I'm not following, you freaking Zarbon knockoff!
These exquisite ears like flowers of bloom, these eyes that shine like petals, this hair like the finest silk, nothing can corrupt the truth they hold.
Right. The witness will hurry up and explain this truth of his. Specifically, what did Jinxie tell him to do upon hearing the confession?
Hold it!
How did Miss Tenma appear to you?
Oh, the poor little thing seemed positively heartbroken, all teary-eyed and whatnot. A repulsive sight. I went up to her and I said, "Stop crying, little girl, stop crying!" And I sprayed my cologne in her eyes, which only made her cry worse. My guess is that she couldn't comprehend true beauty. I couldn't help but shed a few tears myself after seeing her like that. He actually sympathized with Jinxie. Seems like an overly human emotion for him.
Yeah, because he's the only real monster we've seen so far, and looks and a character.
The next thing I did was check my face in the mirror.
Check your face? Why?
To behold the beauty that is my sadness, what else? Apollo, I'm starting to lose all faith in humanity. How is this line not a meme in the Ace Attorney, in the world of Ace Attorney? I don't know. Basically, in the Ace Attorney community, I don't even know.
I know the feeling, but hang in there. At least keep paying our clients. Let's keep this moving, shall we? So what happened next?
Immediately after that, the mayor... Okay, I already read that.
Hold it!
He opened the he opened the forbidden chamber, but why would he do that?
Who knows? Maybe he wanted to free the demon, Tenmataro.
Protection!
The courtroom...
Getting my Apollo and Judge voices mixed up.
The courtroom is no place for fairy tales. Remember, you are under oath.
Hello, L'Belle speaking. Yes, I will certainly explore the matter. Toodles. Now, where were we again?
You were gonna tell us the real reason why the mayor opened the forbidden chamber.
Oh yes, of course. Hello, this is L'Belle. Good one, sir. You are an absolute right. Okay, bye. You were saying?
Never mind. This is a waste of time. He's just going to tell more lies. The witness will focus on his testimony, not his phone calls. Now tell the court what you did after you saw the mayor open the forbidden chamber.
Well, after that...
Hold it!
Why? What was Mr. Filch like at the time?
He was shouting, "I can't see! I can't see! It's the curse of Tenmataro!" Then he took off running like a madman!
He must have been blinded by the sunlight flooding in.
Wrong!
What?
I sprayed him with my cologne! He set eyes upon me! And was thus blinded by my radiant beauty! So it was the curse of Filch and L'Belle rather than Tenmataro. Yes, I'm afraid since beauty can be a curse. It's almost criminal. The only thing criminal here is your ceaseless jabbering. Now get on with your testimony. Oh, forgive me your darkness. Let's see. Oh yes, I fled for dear life from Tenmataro and...
Hold it!
So after you fled into the hallway with the phone at the end, Tenmataro ran up towards the foyer.
Precisely! Notice any inconsistencies, Apollo?
Well, Jinxie also Tenmataro, right?
She did. She said they passed each other in the hall after she made that call to the police.
Well, if L'Belle had fled down the hall where the phone is, Jinxie would have seen him when she was returning from making the call.
Oh, right. And if she saw him, she would have definitely asked for help.
Right. It just doesn't make any sense. Time to review the evidence.
If we don't find some way to poke a hole in his testimony, Mayor Tenma is as good as guilty.
This is bad, very bad.
We need to find an inconsistency, a mistake, some kind of conflict.
It's all over if we can't find flaw in the prosecution's case.
Okay, basically, as stated, Jinxie's testimony, Jinxie's statement.
Objection!
L'Belle, you're lying about having witnessed these events from the hallway.
What on earth do you mean?
Yeah, scared to follow on the rest of us in, Mr. Justice? If Mr. L'Belle had really fled down into the hall with the phone in it, he would have crossed-paths with Miss Tenma.
What's this?
After she discovered the crime scene, she immediately went to call the police. Then, after making her call, she went back into the main hallway. Whereupon she encountered the demon, yokai, or whatever you want to call it. As for me, I call it Phineas Filch in a Tenmataro costume, or Scooby-Dooing his ass. The encounter happened right here, where the hallways meet. As for Mr. L'Belle, if he had fled there, Fang escaped from the yokai imposter. Why yes, the two would have crossed paths. Right, except Miss Tenma told us there was no one else in the hall. In short, Miss Tenma did not see you in the hall because you were never really there.
Ah! My eyes! My beautiful eyes!
Ha! Not such a fabulous head now, is it? How do you like it? But Mr. Justice, the witness also stated that he heard the mayor confess. If he was lying about hearing the confession from the hall, then where was he when he heard it? Inside the fog chamber, where else? But isn't that within the very crime scene? It is, Your Honor, and that means he's not really a witness. Rather, he's the third party I've been alleging this whole time.
What? You think I'm the killer? How dare you?
Silence!
Foolish fop! A true man knows when he is beaten. A shield of lies comes to naught before a foe with the sword of truth bared. Bared cannot talk. Damn it, CzarThwomp, you failed me. But Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you? I thought we were on the same side. I am on no side with you. You are mistaken. There are no sides here, save for my cold, steely edge of judgment. And also my OC, Tomahawk Falcon. You are alone upon this battlefield, with naught but your lies and a sickly sweet perfume.
Whoa! What just happened? Blackwell's really tearing into him.
You heard the mayor's confession from the inside, did you not, you deviant dandy? For the sole location from which you could have seen and heard the mayor and the Tanuki, without either of them noticing you, were right there in the Fox chamber. Oh my! So that's how it's gonna be. Fine, I'll complain then.
Seriously? You admit to being there in the Fox chamber?
I do. I did enter the room after the murder, but I was afraid of being falsely accused, so I lied about it. I feel terrible about lying like that, but it's a verbal cologne I use to protect myself.
No one wants to smell your cologne! You'd better explain yourself, Mr. L'Belle!
Yes, of course. I was just about to get to that.
The witness is skating on thin ice. I'll remind you that perjury is a very serious crime. Now let's hear your testimony again, this time without your perfume of lies.
in the box chamber. I did enter the box chamber after the murder, but I didn't enter until after Jinxie had heard the confession and left. I heard the mayor groan and hid behind the folding screen there. What I saw were up close, it was absolutely horrifying. So you see, I was there, but merely watching from behind the scene.
From behind the scene? From behind the screen? Why, yes, I believe you wouldn't be spy if you were there.
Just so. He could see everything without being spotted by the victim or that Tanuki Filch. Suffice to say, he was a mere witness to the events rather than an actual third party.
This guy's as slippery as an eel. And his heart's as black as a moldy banana peel.
Kind of a, yeah, I can't believe I'm brain farting over that Grinch song. Apollo, you think he's telling the truth?
Well, he was in the box chamber, so at least that much be true. The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness.
Okay. This is gonna be one of those you press and then you get a new piece of testimony sort of things. But let's go through them all.
Why in the world would you enter that grisly crime scene?
Why? Because I was worried sick. Mayor suit. It
what?
It was designed personally by me. I was worried my work of art might get blood on it.
This man clearly has his priorities in order.
Okay, let's get this over with, shall we? Now, where was I? Oh, yes. So I entered the box chamber almost without thinking.
Hold it!
Why didn't you enter right away?
And ruin my designer shoes?
Your shoes?
Even now, just thinking about getting blood on my fabulous footwear, it sends chills down my spine. That's why I hesitated.
Objection!
That's terrible. A man was dying and another injured, and you're worried about your shoes?
Silence!
Need I remind you this is a court of law. We're not teaching morality here. We have schools of etiquette and the like for such trivial pursuits. Gah! Now you listen to me, you deceptive dandy. Get to the point and be quick about it. Yes, well, I was there in the box chamber, but...
Hold it!
Okay.
Objection!
Sorry. Forgot which one we were on.
Silence! Hold it!
Wait a second. Why did you hide yourself?
Oh my, so you do understand.
I do.
By hiding, I was concealing my fabulous beauty, which, for the sake of the universe, is something I should never, ever do. That's what you were thinking, right?
I'm sensing a black hole of egocentricity forming around the witness stand.
We can deliberate his mental process another time. Get on with the testimony, now! Well, regarding the murder scene...
Hold it!
Now I can't help but imagine just what an interaction between Red, White, and Filch and L'Belle would be like.
Could you describe the crime scene in more detail?
And what exactly would you like to hear details about?
Well, what I'd like to ask you about is... could you describe the scene of the weapons that had been used at the scene?
The spear had been thrust all the way through Alderman Kyubi. Then there was the statue the Alderman had used to bludgeon Mayor Tenma. that incredibly inspiring symbol had fallen to the floor.
Alright, the statue. But why would you find it inspiring? Why exactly would you find this statue inspiring?
Well, when I saw that statue, I felt as if the merger had been realized. It was like a celebration of union between town and village, an inspiring symbol of goodwill.
A broken statue next to a bloody corpse. Real inspiring. Well, Mr. Justice, do you consider this statement to be of any importance? Is it important?
Very.
I believe that to be extremely important. I request that it be added to the testimony.
Hold it!
A token of goodwill. Are you referring to the fox and demon statue?
Yes, the statue the alderman allegedly used to strike back at Mayor Tenma. The mayor trampled down municipal goodwill only to be clobbered by its symbol. It's quite ironic, don't you think?
And that's when the symbol of goodwill will transform into a symbol of conflict.
Hold it!
The mayor had been knocked out by a bullet to the head. Could he really have opened the forbidden chamber in that state?
Well, it did seem difficult. He was all woozy and stumbling around as he opened it. It was such a heroic effort that I nearly started to cheer him on despite myself.
I think the mayor needed medical attention more than a cheerleader.
You think he's telling the truth about being there in that room?
Well, I believe he was there. The question is, when did he enter?
You mean did he enter after Jinxie fled? Or was he there before the murder? If it's the latter, that would change everything.
Right, if he had been there before the murder, that would make him a suspect.
But how do we go about proving that?
Well, I guess we ask him about what happened there. Anyways, let's press him and see if we can find any info.
Let's cross our fingers that he says or reveals something incriminating. Okay, head back here. Okay, and...
Objection!
Your lies have finally betrayed you, Mr. L'Belle.
What possibly could you mean? And on that note, I think now would be a good time to end things off. Anyways, I really appreciate that you stuck around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer, and I hope you come back for the next one. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever that you want. And with that, I'll see you next time. Bye.